Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. He is masculine. Let's talk about it. I'm going to wait for a moment to get everyone in the room, and then we're going to talk about he is masculine and what that looks like so that we can help you to be able to attract that type of man. So, good morning. Good morning, Pedestal Wives. Thank you for being in the building. I appreciate you so much for being here. Hello, Juice Baby JoJo. Hello, Miss MMB1. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? All right. I am actually going live on YouTube. I am not going to be on live for Instagram much longer. I'm letting you all know I'm doing He is Masculine. I'm going to break down some masculine archetypes. I'm going to discuss what masculinity looks like and what you should be looking for. Because what I don't want you to do is to be distracted with what social media shows you. There's so many things wrong with social media, and I'm going to address it in this live stream on YouTube. So if this is something you're interested in, if you're on Instagram watching me right now, you can go into my stories, click the link, and it's going to take you to this specific video where I am live right now. I'm live right now. So that's the reason right now I'm operating YouTube and Instagram, but I will be ending Instagram before I get into the juicy stuff to masculinity. So good morning, Daisy B on YouTube. Good morning. How are you, love? Hopefully everything's going well. How do I get access to the rest of the last video you posted? The last video I posted, the entire video. Are you talking about my content? Because you're on Instagram, it could possibly be someone else's content. Like clarify so I can give you good direction on where you need to go. Good morning. Will you keep this live up? The live stream on YouTube will be up because I'm going to end the Instagram live and I'm going to go on to YouTube. I'm going to complete the live stream for He is Masculine on YouTube. So you're going to have to go into the stories, click the link, and it takes you to YouTube to the live stream that I am currently live on now. We have a lot to go into. So I'm trying to give you some notification so that you can get over here and get the entire video. Sorry, don't remember the title. Is it one of mine? Because the last one that I did is in my inner circle or energetically feminine. Energetically feminine, the workshop will premiere. It will happen this weekend, Sunday at 12 p.m. So if you are interested in seeing the entire video, that's in my inner circle and it's in energetically feminine. So I'm giving you some time to get over to YouTube so that you can see the entire video. He is masculine. Yes, it was one of yours, I'm certain. Okay, if it's one of mine and it was very recent, it is in the inner circle or it is energetically feminine. We should live Instagram and go to YouTube. Right now, I'm live on both, but I am not going to be doing the entire video on Instagram. I'm going to cut this Instagram live short and I'm going to go to YouTube and finish up the content. I'm just giving you all notification because some of you all don't look at the stories. So I can announce in the stories, but you don't look at it or realize that I have a whole YouTube page where I do all the content. And it's a lot of times if you're looking for a full-length video, majority of the time it can be found on YouTube, but it may be in the inner circle because that's where all the content goes to live. So I'm about to cut Instagram short and get right into YouTube so we can get into the content. He is masculine. If you're one of the women who, when we were having a conversation a couple of live streams back, and you were like, I was told that I fit for a creator, I'm going to give you some information that's going to help you with that information of the archetype of a creator in masculine energy. We're going to go in deep on masculine energy and what you should be looking for. We're going to talk about the differences between potential and doing and what a masculine man will be doing, what he is currently doing, what is he doing now, and how to make sure that you are engaging, talking, dating, courting, marrying a masculine man. And I've done this content before. If you're in my inner circle, you have access to that old content where I really broke down masculinity and feminine energy. But I said, why not? Why not? Today is what? Thursday? Why not? Let's go into masculine. Let's go in a deep dive into it. Yeah, it never sends me a notification on Instagram. I don't know why, y'all. One of my subscribers brought it up to my attention that what happens is since I'm not a big content creator, my videos aren't pushed. You have to go and find me. And if you're looking for the real information for femininity, masculinity, relationships, you'll find me. I will come across your page when you start really looking for that authentic information. But I'm going to cut Instagram short. So if you are not clicking the link in my stories to get to the YouTube video where I'm going to finish up He is Masculine, you're going to miss out on a treat, but it will be the full version will be on YouTube. Okay. But thank you all for being here on Instagram, and I'll see you on YouTube. Bye. All right. So if you all are not, you're new to my page, you're new to my content, my name is Braille. I am the creator of the Pedestal Wife Society. I have been married for 22 years. In August, I'll be married 23. I am a stay-at-home mother and wife. I have been that for a very long time. Yes, I've had a career in the past, but I got that career during the marriage because I'm just going to be honest. At the time, my kids were older and I was a little bored. So I went and became a school teacher. And I taught for 3 years when I realized that teaching isn't necessarily feminine. It's not a feminine profession. And it pushes you to be a very masculine individual. It is very stressful. It's very overwhelming. If you were a teacher at one time or you are a teacher currently, you understand what I am saying when I say it is overwhelming. It is too much. So I had to leave the profession and go back to what I know and love, and that is being a stay-at-home mother and wife. So let's talk about He is Masculine. What I see on social media is very disheartening when it comes to masculine energy, because what I think is happening is that majority of women are going to dismiss a majority of men. And when I see this, I think it hurts. I'm one of those women, I do mind my business. But when it comes to the women of my community, the men and women that want information from me, they actually look up to me for information. It saddens me that they get information about masculine energy that is incorrect or wrong, especially if you're a woman who you're on this journey to become that feminine energy being and you want a more traditional lifestyle, a more traditional relationship. Having bad information when it comes to masculine energy can be very harmful overall, because if you cut out majority of men because you're looking for something that you see on social media, and let's just be honest, y'all can be honest with me, I'm a very open and transparent person. Most women don't want to marry an old man. Like, most women want to marry a man, not necessarily their age, but they don't want an old man. They don't want a man who is one step in the grave and one step, in life. Because like that old saying, like one step on a banana peel. Most women don't want that. So, and that's what you see on social media, that you have to get that old man in order to get a masculine energy man. Because it is true that the average man reaches his peak around 50 years of age. But let's talk about how we can get the men in the middle, because that's what some of us will. Some of us will marry the men in the middle. Some of us will marry the nouveau rich. Some of us may even be blessed to be able to marry the wealthy. I don't want us to cut out the men. I want us to have the masculine energy men, and they be in our focus, they be in our view, and these are the men that we're dating. So we're going to set aside for right now talking about how much money he makes. We're going to talk about what makes a masculine man. What is masculine energy? Masculine energy is that doing and action oriented. He is the man that is currently, he has a degree, or he has a trade, or he has something that's going to help him make his wealth or create his resources. He has savings. Savings is key for masculine energy. They love to know that they have something for the long term. They're always looking at it from a long term, not a short term. They're currently working or in school, or they're doing both, because they're not going to be happy with not creating resources and income for themselves. So they're not just going to be in school alone. They're going to be in school and working, if that is currently what is happening. They're also going to be, there's going to be some character. Remember how important character is. Now, this is not necessarily going into the masculine energy. I'm going to say that when you are dating for masculine energy, courting for masculine energy, marrying masculine energy, character is highly important. When masculine energy leaves off, character picks up. This means while he's doing the thing to become successful in creating those savings and resources, and he has a home, a car, and he has things that he's accumulating for his future family or future wife. He also is very intelligent. There's a lot of research that talks about how important intelligence is, especially for a man. A man has to be intelligent. This is one of those characteristics that you want in masculine energy, because an intelligent man understands that it is better to keep her rather than to lose her. He is not the type of man that's going to get rid of a woman because she's got a little older. He's not the type of man that's going to risk his resources to go after something new. Because intelligent men, they have found, they did a lot of research on intelligent men, found that the men that actually cheat the most are the men that are dumb, because those men do not weigh the cost. They don't weigh the cost of losing out of resources, of losing out of family members and friends. They don't weigh that cost. So intelligence is important. Integrity is important. Where he has principles, he has values, he has a specific way that he lives his life. And you can see that the way he lives his life. It's not, I do this certain, it's not it coming from a place of him admiring things. He is doing this. If this is the type of man that, if he has a principle of being honest, he's very honest about his needs and what he desires from you. And when I talk about this, a lot of women say, I've never come across a man who can do that. That's because you've never met a masculine energy man. I have met men who would tell me, hey, I know what you want, but I'm not in a place to give that to you. I know that you want this type of man that can be traditional and take care of everything, but I can do that, but I am not going to be faithful. I've met men who say they're not going to be faithful. I've met men who say that they can't give me what I want. I've met men who are very honest about, hey, I'm never going to be that guy, because masculine energy has a certain set of principles and values, integrity, and they live their life in that manner. So they don't see the need to cheat. Not cheat. They don't see the need to lie. They really are very authentic and upfront about what they desire from themselves and what they desire from you. They will tell you, hey, I want this type of wife. I want a wife that's going to cook 7 days a week. I want a wife that's going to drop it hot, drop it low every single day. I want this type of wife. When you meet this type of man, sometimes women think he's being very disrespectful, when what he's being is being honest. And you want him to be honest. You want him to have that characteristic of integrity and honesty. You don't want the type of guy that feels like he has to lie. That is a man that has to lie in order to receive or get something. That's not masculine energy. That's the reason why I say a lot of women haven't met this type of men. I meet these type of men all the time. They're very honest and upfront about what they want. They don't lie to you about what they want. They don't try to package it into something else so it can be appealing to get you. They tell you up front, this is what I want. This is what I desire from you. If you cannot give me that, then we will not work. And baby, you have not lived until you run across men who can tell you that up front. They can tell you they're going to cheat. They can tell you they're going to lie. They can tell you that they are going to do certain things that you probably are not going to think that's acceptable, but they're going to be honest about it. That is masculine energy. Honest, integrity, values, intelligence. These things are so important characteristics. So a man who is doing, that is what you're looking for. Like I said, let's put aside the conversation about money and resources. Let's look at the doing. Let's look at what is he doing with his time? What is he doing to create a life for a wife and children? What is he doing to live a life that has principles and values? Let's ask yourself those important questions so you can identify masculine energy. And let me tell you something I don't think we're having an honest conversation about. When it comes to feminine energy, you're attracted to everybody. Everybody and their mama are attracted to feminine energy women, because when they are around feminine energy women, it is soothing. So even a feminine energy man will be visually attracted to a feminine energy woman. What happens is they repel each other because of the way that she communicates, her mannerisms, the way she carries herself. He realizes she is out of my league. So he is going to avoid you like the plague. Once he is pulled into your energy and the way that you carry yourself. That is what's going to make sure that you continue to repel feminine energy men. Feminine energy men have their place in society. So I'm not going to say it's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm going to say they have their place in society, because some women will be and operate in their masculine energy, and they will be married to a feminine energy man, and they will be happy overall with their lot in life. But if that is not you, and you desire masculine energy around you, you want a man that is masculine energy, your husband needs to be masculine energy, then this is the page for you. So let's talk about what you need to be looking for. When it comes to masculine energy, he is the man that has figured out his purpose. He has a direction. When you talk to a masculine energy man, they tell you the plan, they tell you the mission, they tell you the purpose. And also, by telling you the mission, the purpose, and the plan, they also let you know what they desire from you. They're very upfront and honest about that. They don't lie to you about it, because they're not willing to persuade you. They're not willing to lower their standards for it. They want what they want. They're stimulated by challenge. They love a good challenge. That's the reason why, if you got the man and he was easy to get, you just gave everything freely and you weren't a challenge to him, you're not dealing with a masculine man. You're dealing with a feminine man. Feminine men don't mind. They don't want that challenge. They want it to be easy. They want you to put yourself on a platter and give it to them freely. With a masculine energy man, he wants that challenge. He wants to deal with that woman that has these high standards. He wants to deal with that woman who has a sense of her own purpose and mission, and that she is not willing to renege or sacrifice the agreements that she has with herself. He wants that challenge. One of the things I've always said since I've started this page is, be the woman that he cannot get. That is the challenge, because masculine energy men, they love the challenge. They love the chase. They love the pursuit. They love to hunt. And if you make it easy for them, they lose interest. They lose interest because it was easy. They don't want their women easy, because if you're easy, this means you're easy for everyone. So they want you to be the woman that holds her virtue to the high regards, to high standards. They want you to be that woman that isn't easily impressed with just anything. They want you to be that woman that has her own set of principles and values and her own purpose and her own mission. They want you to be that woman that they know that when they look at you, they walk in a room with you, and they're proud that you're on their arm, but they also know not every man can do what I do to have this type of woman. They want to know that they have won against men. They want to know that they have a prize. They want you to be the prize. They absolutely want you to operate in your life as though you are the prize. Okay? Masculine energy is also very fixed. It's very fixed. It's a fixed point. What I mean by that, you can be that emotional woman. You can be that woman who, is operating her fields, which being in your fields is feminine energy. That's the reason when you see women talking about, I feel like this, or I feel like you are saying this and this hurts my feeling, because it's feminine energy. That's how we communicate. Men, like masculine energy men, they love that. They don't want to change that about us. They want us to be honest and authentic and upfront about our feelings, because they know our feelings matter. They matter. And masculine energy men honor that, but they don't get drawn into it. And what I mean by that, they don't get drawn into it. If you are having your emotions and you're all in your emotions, you're feeling very strong emotions, they don't try to match feelings for feelings. They don't try to match emotions for emotions. Usually what happens and I'm going to give you examples from real life. If I'm in this mood, because women, we're hormonal, we have emotions, and we can have a great life, and we could be feeling like, you know what I mean? You can have what we say on social media, like the ick. We can have that ick and it's nothing wrong. And men don't understand this, because they operate in practicality, logic, And since they don't really understand that, they don't get drawn into it though. Masculine energy doesn't get drawn into you having the ick. They don't go tit for tat. They don't go emotion for emotion. So if you're angry or mad, they are fixed and they're calm. And they're not getting drawn into your emotion. That's how you have these big blowout arguments and fights, because you have two feminine individuals going toe for toe or tit for tat. That doesn't normally happen in masculine and feminine energy relations. I'm not saying you don't have arguments, because what happens is masculine energy waits for it to calm down. Just that fixed point where you may be raging and he waits for it to calm down. So then you can have a discussion. Then you can have a conversation. Then you can have communication. But they don't try to get drawn into it where y'all are having screaming matches. That's the reason why I tell you all the time, I don't have arguments. We have conversation. We have communication, because he is in his masculine and I'm in my feminine. Yes, I might have the ick, or I might have like that time, and it may be nothing. Like there's nothing going on. I have a great life. I have a great life, and I recognize I have a wonderful life. But sometimes you just wake up and you have that ick, and you just don't. You're not feeling it, right? And you may, because you want to have that conversation or communication with him, you might just start going off. And if you go off, he doesn't get drawn into it. So it doesn't turn into like a screaming match or anything. What he does, he is that calm where you are that storm. And since he stays calm, he doesn't get drawn into your emotions and your feelings, and it doesn't blow up into be a screaming match. So I go through those emotions and those different feelings, and he just lets me. He's just that safe place for me to land. And when I land, I can just, go in and be drawn into his calmness, and it brings me back to calmness. And guess what happens? Then we can communicate. Then we can have a conversation. But he doesn't try to dismiss this for me. He allows me to be me. He lets me be in my feminine energy. He lets me have that ick for a moment, because maybe I just woke up like that. Like that's what we are as women, as feminine energy beings. And masculine energy men understand that. That's the reason why they are our best partners. They're our best partners. When you are naturally feminine or you're on your feminine energy journey, your best partner is a masculine man. And that's not just for his resource. That's the reason why we're going to push that aside for right now, because I don't want you to eliminate all of the men in between, because some of you all don't understand what masculine archetype is going to be good for you. And we're going to get to that. We're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtains of some of the masculine archetypes I'm going to talk about in feminine energy, energetically feminine, coming up on Sunday at 12 p.m. If you haven't gotten that workshop, the link is going to be in my chat. You want to go in and reserve your seat, because I'm going to close the cart very soon, because I don't want anyone getting a seat the very day I'm going to be hosting energetically feminine. Okay. But masculine energy is easy to let things go, where feminine energy kind of holds things. Feminine energy holds things. That's the reason why I talk about letting emotions, feelings, and letting things go. It makes you a healthier feminine energy a feminine energy woman. But feminine energy can hold on things. They can hold on small things. And there's a reason for that, and it's an evolutionary reason. Feminine energy is very present and very engaged. So since they're very present and very engaged, they are in that moment. Basically, a masculine energy man, a man can have proved himself over and over and over to show up, to be a provider, to be a protector. But since feminine energy is in that moment, if he doesn't do it in that moment, guess what? He doesn't get credit for all the times he did it in the past, because feminine energy is very present and very engaged in the moment to moment. If you want to think about feminine energy more like that moment to moment, I'm right here. I'm thinking about what's going on right now. I'm not thinking about what he did in the past for me. I'm not even thinking about what he's going to do in the future for me. I'm doing what he did to me right now. So if right now he reneged on his word, even if in the past his word has always been good, you could take it to the bank, I'm going to be focused on this very moment. And this is something that masculine energy understands. They understand that they have to continuously show up. They got to continuously be a man of their word. They got to continuously let go of certain things so that he can be with a feminine energy woman. because a feminine energy woman is going to be focused on that moment right now. She's focused on what she can see right now in this moment. Masculine energy is for the long term. They have really good thinking about the past too now. But that's the reason why they work so well, so so much better together than any other archetypes. Masculine energy is able to focus in on one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Feminine energy focuses on is very good about multitasking. Like feminine energy is always processing information, always taking in information, always multitasking, and masculine energy is compartmentalizing and focusing on one thing. Majority of men are single focused. It's rare to come across a man that can do multiple things and do it well. Women, we have perfected it being multitaskers and being able to do multiple things well, but uh, when it comes down to masculine energy, they are always trying to figure out how to solve the problem. This is the reason why feminine and masculine energy is a great dynamic for men and women, because of the fact they're always trying to solve the problem. They're always trying to move forward. Anytime that I've had like these conversations, communication with my husband, he's always trying to solve my problem. I never sit here and try. I've never tried to change him because I want my masculine energy, and this is preference for me. We're going to get into the archetypes of men and what they look like, because social media has gotten a lot of women. I feel like social media is going to be the downfall of making sure that these pairings pair up. Because if you go on social media, you're thinking that masculine energy is only one way and feminine energy is only one way. And since they are the majority, you forget about the people in the middle. The people in the middle. And the people in the middle are important because they are the majority, really. The people on social media are the exceptions. And we're going to get into that. Let's talk about the people on social media are the exceptions. And if you get struck by an exception, you will think, I cannot have what I desire because I'm not coming across it. And a lot of times what's happening, you are coming across it. You are. But you're closed off to it, because what we believe in is what we see. It's called confirmation bias. What we believe in is what we see. So if you are focusing on what social media is showing you, and these are the exceptions, you're going to only be focusing on that, and that's all you're going to see. And you're never going to run across the majority, which is women like myself. We're the majority. So let's talk about it. I'm going to look at the comments and then we're going to get back into it. Could they be masculine but be predatory? My ex was masculine, but I made things easy. I noticed a shift in how he treated me, like he lost respect and just took advantage. Guess what? Masculine energy men are predatory. Why? Because I want you to think on this level. When someone breaks in your home and you're married to a masculine energy man, don't you want him to flip that switch and you want him to go into protective mode? You want him to get that pew out. You want him to take care of the issue. So your masculine does have that predatory side of him, where he's going out here, he's going to be dominant. He's going to go out here and get the promotions. He's going to go out here and run over everybody else to take care of his family. So all masculine energy has that predatory side of them. And yes, you can flip the switch. You can flip the switch and become the predator, where he looks, become the prey, where he looks at you as though you are the prey. Most women don't want to, we don't have these conversations about the fact that masculine energy, the reason why they at the top of the pyramid of women wanting them is because they can be predatory, because they can do what they can to get ahead of everybody else. They can step on other people in order to get ahead. They can go in and tear people apart for the health and wealth of their family. That's why we want them, because they can be predatory. And you can flip the switch. You can flip the switch because of the fact that if you made everything easy for him, you became prey. You made everything easy for him, you became prey. There's so many ways, because I did it too. And I've talked about that in an older video where I talked about how I became prey in the beginning of my marriage. That is during a time where I actually lost who I was. I forgot who I was. I became what I thought was best to become a wife. And it was more, there's nothing wrong with serving and taking care of your family, but I lost myself in that process and I became nothing but that. And that made me pray. That made me like every other woman. Instead of me being unique to Braille and keeping on that path and not losing myself in that process, you can't become prey because you lose yourself and you become, and I'm going to say this, if you start putting yourself in mothering energy, you will become prey. You will flip that switch and he will become a predator and you will be the prey. All masculine energy have that predator side of them, and you want them to have that side of them. You don't want to overtake them where there's nothing but predator, there's nothing but the hunter, there's nothing but a man who's willing to step over his mama to get to the top, because you want to have that character, remember? So you want to have that masculine energy, but you also want him to have that character, that the characteristics that's going to make him a great man, not a good man, a great man. And there's a reason why I don't use good man, because we want a great man. We want that man who has that predator side, who can go out here and get that promotion, who can make a plan, a mission, or has a purpose. You want that man. Do you want, if something was to happen and the world was to end, do you want the man that's going to go out here and he's going to try to negotiate with everybody in order to get the goods? Or you want the man that's going to protect you, you and your children, so that y'all can thrive at the end of the world? Which one do you want? So you want to realize that when it comes to masculine energy also is a predator. They are the men that go and step on toes in order to get to the top. They are the men that aren't easy to be around sometimes. It depends on what archetype you decide to be with. And we're going to get into the archetypes in a second. Masculine energy, the men are the men who aren't wearing their wealth. They aren't out here wearing their wealth. So don't go out looking for masculine energy in the manner that social media has taught you. Because if you look at social media, you're going to think he's going to show up with a BMW, a Porsche, or he's going to show up with some luxury vehicle, when a lot of times the most driven vehicle by masculine energy rich men is a Honda. It's a Honda. So a man who is a masculine energy, he will not be wearing his wealth. His wealth will be in the bank. It will be making money for him. It will be in his savings account. It will be in his stocks, his bond. It will be in anything that's going to make him money and it's going to grow and multiply. That is where his money will be at. That is where his riches will be at. He will not be wearing it. He will not be driving a flashy car unless he's at the end of he's already achieved and accomplished his purpose. He may have it as he ages. As he ages, what I found that this is the reason why y'all are going to see older men that have it, they're going to have luxury cars. And that's the reason why you go on social media and you see these women who married these old men and they are driving luxury vehicles because they have already made their wealth. And a lot of times they're over 50 years old. The majority of men reach their peak at 50. Keep up the good content. Thank you. Thank you. That makes so much sense. You're welcome. I finally understand that feminine energy women are kind of obsessed with themselves. How do you balance being focused on you and being a wife and mother? Okay, what I had to find, I had to put the time in. In the very beginning, I created myself an agenda because I tried to schedule and I couldn't do it. I am just not the type of girl that can do a schedule. So I had to do an agenda. And what I do, I make sure I make time for me to focus in on me and then balance in being a wife and a mother. But in the beginning, I lost myself in the process of serving and nurturing everybody else. I was nurturing the children and serving my husband. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, because what we have to realize in order to get the best quality of man, remember, like I told you before, the best quality man is a masculine energy man and a predator. So since this is the type of man that speaks up for his needs and what he desires out of a woman, he's going to want his needs met. There is no such thing as these type of men not wanting nothing from you unless they are in the exception. They have 1 foot on the banana peel and 1 foot in the world. They 2 steps away from death. Like those are the only men that are going to be willing, like, give everything away, all of their wealth to a young tenderoni and not request anything back from that. So if you are like the majority of women, they don't want their men too old. Majority of women want their men like 2 to 3 years older than them. They don't want them old. They don't want them with one foot on a banana peel. They want them pretty healthy, pretty young. So since you want them healthy and you want them young, and I'm also a woman who married a man that is masculine energy, and he's only a year and a half older than I am. I did not marry an old man. And I don't have anything against women who married an old man. I'm not saying that. I am saying that they are the exception and they are taking over social media. So a lot of women are looking at men to be or have what that old man has. When the average man is 50 years old before he meets his peak in wealth. He made his money, he's 50 years old or over. Majority of us are not going to be with that man. So this is the reason why I want to take away the conversation of how much he has to have. Let's focus in on masculine energy. And I guarantee you, you will attract, if you're a feminine energy woman, you will attract a masculine energy man. And this man will give his blood, sweat, and tears to providing for you, to making sure that you live a life of comfort and ease. So let's take away a dollar amount that he has to have. Social media has done a great job of conditioning women, brainwashing women to believe what they're seeing on social media is the majority. It is not. That is the exception. Majority of those women who are making it or in your feeds for social media, they're married to an old man who, of course, he doesn't have any needs. How is a man that is half dead gonna have any needs? He's just lucky to be with a young tenderoni, a beautiful woman. He is an old man that knows and understands that he has no say in the sugar he's getting. That is the conversation. Let's like, you want to go? I'll go there today. Because that's another thing that a lot of men who's having these conversations are not talking about. If you're an old man and you're trying to get that young tenderoni, she expects you to take care of her. And she also expects it to be her way. It will be her way if she's a smart woman, if she's an intelligent woman. She will make sure that it benefits her overall because she is taking the biggest risk. Yes, he is giving money and resources, but she's taking the biggest risk with her beauty, her youth, and her womb. And that right there, my young ladies, that is worth more than gold. Your beauty, your youth, and your womb is worth more than gold. So hopefully, I know I went over your question. I'm sorry, but I hope I answered it. That's what you have to do. I had to create an agenda. I had to get myself back to me. And I went through that journey. So I've been there. I've been in that position where I created myself to be prey. I strayed so far away from the woman he married and became an entirely different being. And that harmed our relationship for that first 5 years. This is the reason why a lot of my content is not for you. It is for me. I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. So I had to course correct. I had to pivot. I had to figure out what was wrong. I learned a lot on that journey. And I became the woman you see before you. And I learned that beautiful skill of making sure I take care of myself, making sure that my needs are met, making sure I speak up for myself, making sure that I'm not just going alone to get along, making sure that I am seen, heard, validated. That is the woman he married. That's the woman that attracted him. That is the woman that he loves. He didn't love the mouse that I became, because that wasn't the woman he married. And that's how I became prey, because literally I became the mouse. I became the woman who didn't take care of herself. I became the woman who didn't speak up for what she wanted. I became the woman that tried to make him guess because he knew who I was. I became that woman who didn't communicate. I became that woman that he didn't want. And so when you become the woman he didn't want, the woman he didn't bank on, becoming the woman that he wasn't attracted to in the first place, you become prey. Because that's what happens with masculine energy. Masculine energy, the other dynamic that no one talks about, is that masculine energy, the reason we're so attracted to it is because that is the one that's going to stand up for you. That is the woman that doesn't mind using his brain, but doesn't mind using his fists. That is also the one that doesn't mind stepping on a couple of toes. It doesn't mind speaking up for himself. It doesn't mind telling you what he desires and everybody else, anyone that will listen. That's masculine energy. These men that want you to chase, pursue, they're not operating in masculine energy, they operate in their feminine energy. When they start deciding or acting as though they're the prize, they're acting as though they're feminine. So don't get distracted by what you see on social media. It is not true. And yes, I'm putting myself in the category of the average. I am the average. I am married to a guy in upper middle class. I am the average woman that is taking care of a stay-at-home mother and wife. I am the average. I'm sitting before you. What you see on social media is the exception. Don't get distracted by the exception, because those are old men. And the old men, they understand that they are going to pay for sugar. And if she's a smart woman, she's going to make him pay for sugar, because during that time, during that process, he may leave her. And if he leaves her with debt and he leaves her with a baby, he leaves her, she's going to lose out if she doesn't make sure that she is bargaining correctly in that dynamic. Okay, Bree, coming with guns blazing today. Conversation needed to be had. Absolutely. I believe it does. We're going to talk today. If you all talk back with me, I will talk. We will have this conversation, because I'm over the social media. Y'all being distracted by what you see on social media. And this causes people problems who are teaching feminine energy and masculine energy by what you see on social media. And you realize what you're seeing, some of that is deception. Some of that is not even true. I've attracted a masculine energy man when I was 32. I've seen him once for a drink. I felt so at peace and at ease that I was disturbed. It was the first time I felt that way. And for many years, I tried to understand what happened that night. But he was too old for me. He was 56 and I was 32. And see, that is the thing about it. We're like feminine energy, we recognize it because there's a calming aspect to a man who doesn't get drawn into emotions, because we're emotional beings. We operate in feelings and emotions. Literally, a woman will get up and make an entire important decision based off her feelings, because it's what we do as feminine energy beings. Masculine energy understands that, and that's where they try to balance it out with logic. When I have something, when I'm talking about my feelings, that I feel I should do this, or I feel I should do that, my husband comes in immediately with logic and practicality, and he brings that juicy dynamic where I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should consider that. That's a good idea. Because yes, I can do that for myself also. Okay. I can also come in with a practical, logical idea. But when I'm in my relationship, when I'm in my wife, when I'm in my marriage, I bring all my feminine energy. I understand that's going to be perfect dynamic with that masculine energy. Because one thing about men, they adapt. This is evolutionary. This is what they do in order to make things have a happy home. They tend to adapt. So if you come in and you're bringing all that masculine energy and that doing, that action, and it's coming from you, you're coming with that logic, that practicality, he's going to adapt and come in with feelings. He's going to adapt and come in with feelings. Yes, he can be, majority of men, at least 90% masculine energy. But he also can adapt. That's the reason why y'all started seeing happy wife, happy life. Because a lot of men have adapted to the dynamic that's in their home. Because overall, men want to come home and they want a peaceful home. So they're willing to adapt. So I have seen it happen when a man is masculine energy, but a woman, he's been, I would say, somewhat tricked and deceived. And he gets a woman, she appears and she knows how to play the game and pretend to be feminine. And then he marries her, and then the dynamic shifts, and all he does is adapt. And he's killing it outside of his home. He's killing it in his career. He's killing it in his business. He's killing it. You can't even, he's getting all these awards and attention and validation for how successful and wonderful he is. But then he goes home and he has a masculine energy woman. And I think some women get distracted by that dynamic because you've seen it multiple times. You've seen this dynamic multiple times where the woman wears a pants. She is a masculine energy, but he's outside the home killing it, because outside his home, he can operate in his masculine energy. An intelligent masculine energy man will not fall for that. That's the reason why I said, what did I tell y'all about masculine energy? Say it with me now. Somebody write in the chat. Where masculine energy leaves off, character picks up. That's the reason why you want both. You don't just want a masculine energy man. You want a masculine energy man with character. because you want an intelligent man that can peep these games. You want an intelligent man that can peep a woman pretending to be feminine energy, because there's more to that dynamic than putting on a pretty dress, makeup, and heels. Her energy is calming. Her energy is soothing. Just being in her energy and being pulled into it is a treat. So you want masculine energy that is gonna be intelligent also. You want a masculine energy that's gonna have integrity. You want masculine energy that's gonna have values. You want masculine energy that's gonna be honest. You want masculine energy with principles. You want masculine energy that has his own agreements with self. He has a way that he has a code of conduct for himself. As you said, he told me right in the beginning he can't be the man I was looking for, because he does not want to be a father again. He was clearing his intentions. Absolutely. Masculine energy will be clear in his intentions. When y'all see men on social media teaching other men to lie to women, that's feminine energy. That's feminine energy. That's dark feminine energy, but it's feminine energy all the same. That's not masculine energy. A masculine energy, men are self-confident and sure in themselves that they realize they don't have to lie about what they want or what they desire from a woman. Either that woman is going to give them what they desire, or he will not be with that woman. So let's talk about masculine archetypes, because I had a young woman that came into my live stream a couple of live streams back, and she was sitting here talking about the fact that she was told that she was supposed to be with the masculine archetype creators. So in the feminine energy, energetically feminine workshop that's coming up on Sunday at 12 p.m., we're going to talk about the masculine archetypes and which one you may qualify for, and how, if you don't like the one that you qualify currently, that you can actually move and increase one feminine energy in order to be able to qualify for a different masculine archetype. So for hers specifically was creators. She came in a live stream and she said, "Hey, I've been told that I am deemed to be with a creator, a masculine archetype, which is a creator. A creator is a masculine archetype that creates new things." I think that a lot of us, when we hear creator, we immediately start thinking artists, songwriters, musicians, and that is so far from the truth. When you think creators, don't forget the creators of society. All he has to do is be in a creative position, and he will be a creator. That could be an archetype, engineer. That could be a software developer. That can be an architect. Those are all creative positions also. So don't just think uh, poetry, artists, musicians, singer. Don't just think entertainment. A lot of us think entertainment when we think creators. That is not the only professions that creators go into. They also go into architecture, go into engineers, software developers, anything that they can create and build from the ground up, because they love to create new things. That is a masculine archetype. A lot of times, though, they love women who are in their like queen energy. This woman is very practical and she's very logical. She is she's the feminine energy, the family archetype, the manifestation that you need. She's the one that's going to vet for you. If you were to go back to my 4 feminine manifestation that you must have in order to have a juicy relationship, I talk about the queen, I talk about the lover, I talk about the girl, and I talk about the wife. So that's where I'm getting from. So if some of you who haven't seen that content, go back on the page, click on that video, and it'll give you a rundown of the 4 feminine manifestations that you need to have access to in order to be appealing to masculine energy. Trailblazers. The trailblazers are like the scientists and the researchers. Now, scientists and researchers, they're very intuitive and very logical. They like the dreamy, romantic girls. They like the girls that can pull them out of their heads and into their bodies to dance, to sing, to make love. They love those romantic, girly girls. And they are also the ones that kind of will give you like full access to anything. They have less rules than like a creator or trailblazer. And we're gonna go in more detail. I'm not gonna go in full detail on this live stream, But I do want to introduce you some masculine archetypes, energies, so that you can have an idea of where you fit in right now. So trailblazers, they're strong, masculine, intuitive, and logical. And they're scientists and researchers normally. Um, governors are normally the leaders. They care about their image. They are the men that love women who are confident in their sexuality and their emotions. So they like the romantic girly girl, but they love the women that are very confident and knowing what they want and able to communicate what they desire. They love those type of women because they not only like feminine energy. One of the biggest things as feminine, masculine energy love about feminine energy women is their ability to pull them in. To pull them in. So the governors are the leaders. They are the ones who are going to be leading. They're the leaders of their fields. They're the leaders in corporate. They're the supervisors. They're the ones that you're going to be taking instructions from. Merchants. Merchants are in like marketing, order processing, customer service, tech sales. When people hear merchants, a lot of times they hear realty, well, not realty. They hear people who are like and what is it, cashiers or something like that. That's not what merchants are on. They're not only that. They can also be in like tech sales. They're like salespeople. Merchants are salespeople. They're in those type of positions. And they love women who they like the kind of romantic girl, but they love the beautiful balance of girl and queen. They love the girls who can actually be that girl and speak up for herself and communicate the things she likes. But then they also love that woman who has her ideals of what she wants and what she desires and understands her own blueprint. But these are the four masculine archetypes and masculine energies that I'm going to discuss in detail in Energetically Feminine Sunday at 12 p.m. And we're going to talk about how you can increase one feminine manifestation so that you can actually, if you decide, hey, I don't want to be with a creator, that's not my cup of tea, because I'm going to go in detail of what that absolutely means. I'm giving you a brief overview right now because we don't have time to go through all over. And we're not going to go all over in this video. This video will be super long. That's what the workshop is for. But masculine energy, they're the doers of the society. That's the reason why they're highly attractive. That's the reason why a majority of women, even a woman who is masculine herself in her masculine energy, she wants a masculine man. She wants that man to be able to get up and do. She wants that man, if he has a purpose or he has something he wants to accomplish, she wants him to be able to go out there and do it. She doesn't want him to wait on her to get her input. She don't want him to. She doesn't want him to wait on her to, submit a resume. She doesn't want to do those things. She wants him to have that ambitions, that gall, that audacity, to go out here and get it himself, to create things for himself. And that's the reason why masculine energy are highly desirable, regardless of what energy a woman is coming from. Because he is the doer of society. He is the builder of society. He is the man that's going to stand up and lead in society. He is the man that's also going to be he is doing. He is not laying on someone's couch. He is not waiting for social media to hit in order for him to be successful. He is already doing. When you are following men that you think are masculine on social media, if he hasn't done anything in the past, I would say, without knowing him, that he is not masculine. You know why? Because masculine energy is action forward. This means that even before he come on social media, before he became a sensation on social media, he was always already killing it in the real world. He was always accomplishing it in the real world. He was coming to social media with his information and his advice and his guidance and his direction and his purpose and his mission. But he already had that. He's already moving forward that. You don't have to give him the tools. Feminine energy, we can inspire, but we do not demand, we do not tell. We do not give the man the mission. We do not give the man the purpose. He already has that. He is currently right now at someone's school getting his degree. He's getting his degree. He's working and getting his degree. That's another way. Let's say if you're super young right now and you're like, how do I recognize the feminine men from the masculine men? This is how you recognize them. The masculine men that are in school, he is the one that applied to get in his school. He chose his schools. He did his application. He might have got some assistance from his family, but he did his application. He applied for his financial aid. He applied for his scholarship. He went and found them and then got assistance from his family. He went and did the hard work by going to get the thing and then asking for assistance if he needed it. He is one that always has a plan, a purpose, and a mission. He's also the one that when you go out, he knows where you're going. He knows what you're going to be doing. He has the date planned in its entirety. All he's doing is asking you out. He's not telling you or asking you to plan the date or asking you. He may ask you where you want to go. He may ask you, okay, well, what do you like to do? Like, what would you like to eat? So that he can have it appeal to you. But he's not waiting for you to call the person to make the date. He's not making the first move. He's making the first move. So if you're super young, you're like, where are they? How do I recognize them? Because I want to get mine at the ground floor. Because some of you, if you're very young and you're in college right now, there's nothing wrong with getting yours at the ground floor. There's nothing wrong. There's ways to identify that he's a doer. That's what you're looking for. You look for action. And all the things he's doing, look for action in it. And when you look for action in it, you'll be able to recognize a masculine energy man. Because guess what happens with feminine energy? And this is the thing that most women need to realize. If you're feminine energy, I know some women would say that your only thing that's going to come up to you is masculine energy, but that's not true because visually, what's appealing to men is feminine energy. A feminine energy woman is going to have herself together. That's a mute point. A feminine energy woman is going to be appealing anyway. She's going to be pretty. She's going to have her hair done. She's going to have a nice dress on or pants that fits her body. She's going to look well put together anyway, so she can be able to pull in all types of men. But you have to understand what is in front of you. And as a young woman, if you're in college, and yes, I have a few young women that are in college, and they want to know, how do I identify the masculine energy men that are in front of me? How do I know it is a masculine energy man? He is doing. He is planning. And all things that he's doing, there is action. Action is happening. Things are happening around him. He's not the one that's going to be sitting here forsaking his studies. He's going to be putting time in for his studies. He's not going to be the one forsaking his studies for partying. He's going to be the one, I got to study for that test that's coming up. You can come and study with me. You can be a study buddy. But I got to study for this test. I'm in the engineering program. I got to study for this test. I'm in the tech program. I got to study for this test. I'm in the medical. I'm going to be a doctor. In everything that he's doing, just think action. What is the action happening around him? And that's how you recognize a masculine energy man. He's not going to forsake his purpose. He's playing his mission for you, not even for you. When it comes to his purpose, mission, and plan, either you're going to be supportive of it or you're going to move out of the way. Or he's going to tell you, I can't give you what you need right now. If his plan is to be an engineer and he's in the engineer program and you are, getting in the way of that, he's going to say, hey, babe, right now I'm not in a position to give you what you need. I got to focus on my studies. Some of y'all ain't never heard that because you ain't never been around a masculine energy man. You've been around a lot of feminine energy men who have a lot of gusto and audacity, and they appear. And that's the reason why a lot of women will fall for that. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm going to tell you why it's not your fault that you fall for that. And a lot of people beat you up for it. It's not your fault that you fall for the man who is the loudest in the room. It's not your fault that you fall for the man who's stunning or wearing all his wealth. It is not your fault. You fall for that because this is what he's showing is a representation of what is successful. And a lot of times, since we didn't have access to masculine energy men growing up, we don't recognize the doing or the action. You don't recognize that everything in masculine is action. If there's no action happening around him, baby, he's not masculine. Let's just go look at it like this. I want to simplify it for you. I don't want to sit here and have you confused about what a masculine man is. I want you to look at him and look at, is there action happening around him? Or is he talking about what he want to do or what he gonna do? Or is he out here going after that promotion? Or is he out here going after that job? Or is he out here going after that leadership? Is he out here going after that degree or education? Or is he complaining about it's hard to get a degree? It's hard to get this thing. Is he complaining more? He's going after it? Because masculine men are human. I don't want to make them sound like that they're superhuman, that they don't have human moments where they realize that, oh man, this is hard. But if a man is saying it's hard and he don't get up and do it again over and over and over again, he is in his feminine. When something is hard, that's where masculine energy kicks in. That's a challenge. Let me get up and try again. So there's action happening around him. There's doing happen around him. And that's how you recognize them from and against everybody else. Because guess what? Masculine energy stands out because they are doing something differently than the other men that they are surrounded by. They're doing something different because they're doing. They're just not talking about, can I do it? Will I do it? Dreaming about doing it. They are doing it. They're in the midst of it. They're in the midst of doing it. They're doing it right now as we speak. And that's how you recognize masculine energy, because there's action happening around them. They're not just talking about what they want to do, what they can do, or talking about their dreams. They may talk about their dreams. Masculine energy can talk about their dreams, but talking about it and doing it, that's going to be in the same sentence. They can say, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to buy a store and I'm going to be a store owner. Next thing you know, they done bought the store because they're doers. They're about the action. They're about they're about the challenge of life. They're not complaining about life. They're not sitting here talking about, oh, woe is me. That is a woman. Women be like, oh, I don't like this, because we operate in emotions and feelings. Of course, we can operate in the logical field, the mental realm. We can. But majority of us in our relationship, this is the reason why we love to operate in the feelings and emotions, because that feels good to us. That feels good to us. That's what we do. Can you repeat the value of doing what kinds of things he should be doing? Right now, a masculine energy man, no matter what stage of life he is, let's go from the beginning to the end. I think that'd be helpful. Y'all agree? Let's go from the beginning to the end. And I'll give you examples for if he's in the beginning of stages. If he's in the beginning stages, the majority of the time, you're going to meet more masculine energy in the beginning stages. Let's say you are in college and he's in college. Right now, he's taking his studies seriously. He is not blowing it off for a party. He is not focused on women. He's focusing on his studies. And if you get in the way of that study, he will tell you that right now he cannot give you what you desire. Masculine energy men, he's focusing in on his career. He's creating a plan. So let's say that's after college. He's got his degree and he's focused, or trade. It could be a trade too, because we don't want to leave out our blue collar masculine energy men, because that's where I met my husband in. My husband was blue collar, masculine energy. Yes, he's white collar now, but when I met him originally at 19 years old, he was in the blue collar. He made great money. So let's not leave them out also. Let's say after the degree or trade, he's in the midst of things. He's doing it. It's not a dream. It's not a conversation. It's not a discussion. Right now, he's starting in his beginning of his career. He is a junior. He's just starting out in his career. And now he's totally focused on what makes that career great, how he can go forward. And he's putting things out of his life that's going to go against him moving up in his career or his trade, because he's a doer. He's doing what it takes in order to become the best. So he's highly focused on becoming the best, becoming the leader in his field. And he's focused in on it. Right now, he's also focused in on how he can make his money work for him, how he can put his money and invest his money in things that's going to create his fortune and resources. So right now, he's in the beginning stages. He's focusing on his savings. Right now, he may be, if you meet him in this stage of life, he's going to want you to be on the same purpose and plan. So in that stage of life, he's going to be like, hey, we need to be doing this. And if you can't do this, if you can't be that woman that's willing to stick within this budget or this confines or this thing so that we can get to the top of our financial peak, then we're not going to work out. He's very honest about that. He's building his net worth. Right now, he's building his net worth. He's focused on money. He's focused on building his resources. He's focused on building his career. And he's doing it. He's not talking about it. He's in his career at this moment. And he's focusing on his savings and making his money work for him. So he's investing his money in things. He's investing his money into, at this moment, he's probably investing his money into like And since he just started his career, his 401. He's putting his money in IRAs. He's putting his money in stocks and bonds. He's creating the nest egg and savings. He is focusing in on bringing people that he can network with that's going to help him go further. So he's making connections with people that's going to increase his resources and help him be able to get the next promotion or leadership position. So that's what he's doing. He's doing it. He's not talking about it. He is doing it at that stage. Now, let's get to the middle. And the middle is the biggest. The middle is the biggest. The middle is the biggest, I say, between late 20s, early 30s. That is the biggest masculine energy men. And these men, they are no longer juniors. They have some experience now. Now that they are focusing on building their resume so that they can have the skills to get the top positions, the top leadership positions. They are investing their monies. Right now, he has a savings account. He also has a home. He also has a car. And he has these things already. And now he's just trying to focus in so that he can get those top leadership positions, or he may branch out in this stage to become his own person, his own owner, a business owner. And he's doing everything I'm telling you is from an action perspective. It's all about action. It's not about dreams. It's not about him thinking about it. It's not about him wanting it. It's not about his desire. He is doing the thing. So when you look at masculine energy, I want you to always think action. Braille said that he should have action around him. He should be doing the thing right now. Okay, so we're in the middle. In the middle is where we have the majority of middle masculine energy men right now. These are the men who have some companies. Their resume is being built. They are doing what it takes in order to be in leadership positions. They are doing what it takes to move. They're not necessarily entry positions that they're taking, but they're mid-level position. They're making good money. And they're at this stage right here where they're able to support a family and kids at that stage. So, and let's go all the way to the end. The end would be your late 40s, early 50s. These are where everyone wants what these men have. Most women are looking for what these men already have established, but majority of these men are already married. They're already married, or they're not interested in getting married in the first place. But they have the resources, they have the savings, they have the things. They have the long resume where it shows that they have been in their field for years. And that's another thing. So when you're looking at masculine energy, he should have educational trade. Okay, he should be building savings and investments. He should not be wearing his wealth on him. It should be in the bank. It should be making money for him. That is what he is doing, not dreaming about. These men are not focusing on social media unless their job is social media. And a lot of times, if their job is social media, they come from a background where they are already successful, because success is going to follow a masculine energy man, because he's action oriented. He's focused. So he has a history of winning. Okay, so hopefully it answered that question. Why do I find many 30-plus-year-old guys that still live with their parents? This is tiring to me. I think you're in the wrong pool. You're in the wrong pool. I would suggest, where are we looking for these guys? Because these men are not with their parents. These men are out in the real world, having real bills, having resources, building their net worth. Are you looking in the right pool? Because don't let your type get in the way of masculine energy. Because masculine energy may be put together, but it does not look like social media. They're not going to be social media ready. They're not going to be, they may not even know how, they don't care about clothing. They don't care about what's on their body. They don't care about those name brands plastered all over their body. They don't care about what I see that's being represented on social media. And a lot of women are looking for that. They're looking for those looks. And you're going to be passed by a masculine energy man. You probably won't even recognize him. So what I would do is ask questions. Are you looking in the right places? Are you operating your feminine energy? Always put the onus back on yourself so you can actually get the answer that you desire. so that you can actually improve and get what you want out of life. Because those men are not in their parents' home. Those men are out in the world. They're conquering, they're dominating, they are doing what they need to do in order to be successful and lead. So masculine energy, action. There's action happening always around him. He is not sitting about laying on somebody's couch. He's not sitting about not going after his degree of trade. This man has figured out his purpose, mission, or plan. So he has a trade. He has a degree, or he has a business. He is not around there dreaming, thinking, and just sitting on somebody's couch. Because if this man is on living with his parents, sitting on somebody's couch, guess what? He is not masculine energy. Y'all have to realize when you're not dealing with a masculine energy man, and when you're dealing with a feminine energy man, and a feminine energy man may be appropriate for a masculine energy woman. A feminine energy man will be appropriate for a masculine energy man. Even though I have started coming across content where masculine energy women don't like feminine energy men. And see, that is going to be a problem, because that is going to be the best pairing for her. Because a masculine energy man is not going to want to be with someone that's just like himself. That's the reason why polarity works so well, is because there's differences. We love differences. Differences bring about polarity. Masculine men do not want to be with masculine women, and masculine women don't want to be with a masculine man. They like what a masculine man does, but their best pairing is going to be with a feminine man. Yes, the man I know always wears merch he's made with his business. Absolutely. And the thing is, if all women decide, hey, I am going to go and try to go after the guy that's at the end of stage, and that's the only type of guy I'm going to desire, y'all are cutting out all the other men. All of the other men, and you're lowering your pool of men to be able to date, mate, and marry. And you don't want to do that to yourself. And I'll honestly be honest with yourself. And that's why I love feminine energy. Feminine energy tends to bring out the honesty and authenticness in women, where you're honest about what you truly want. Like, let's be honest, some of us don't want to be married to an old man that's got one foot on a banana peel. Some of us want to be married to a man that's only 2 to 3 years or 5 at the most, older than us. We want a man that's pretty young, because there's a lot that comes with an older man. Nobody's talking about. Let's talk about this, because I'm an older woman. And there's a lot that comes with an older man. And this is something that a younger woman may not be able to deal with, may not have the capacity to deal with. When you're dealing with the older man, you have to deal with the sickness. You have to deal with health issues. You have to deal with a lot that comes with an older man. And even you might have even deal with the possibility that he may not be alive if you're a younger woman with your children. You may have to just have children, and you may still end up being a single mother because of the fact that your man was very old and he died. He had one foot on the banana peel. So this is the reason why it's not a good look for all women to be looking at the end goal for men, that we should expand our options to make sure that we're giving masculine energy a chance, and not just the men at the end of the stage where you're just looking at resources. Please expand what you're looking for and desire, because where masculine energy leaves off, character picks up. So you want a man that has character, but you also want to look at the age group this man is in, because there's complications that comes with an older man that no one is talking about. Some of you young women are looking at it because it can be a trap for a young woman. And the reason why I say it can be a trap for a young woman is because that young woman may end up having babies, and if he's too old, he may die before he can see them grown, or he may have health problems, and you may end up being a nurse. What is it called, y'all? Drop it for me. I think there's a name for the nurse that I love that young women have brought up, because a lot of young women ain't think about it. Y'all looking at social media and you're seeing that all these young women are married to these old dudes, and it looks appealing because he has all these things and all these resources. And yes, he's going to be really forgiving, because he understands that he has a young tenderoni. So he's going to be very, very forgiving. And he's going to have less rules and less needs or desires, because why would he have them? He's old. He's 1 foot on the banana peel. So he's not going to be there long. And he understands that. So he's just going along for the ride. And if you look at that and you're like, oh, that's what I want, y'all are cutting out all the men in the middle that I just talked about. And it may be a better match for you. Those men may be a better match for you. The goal is masculine energy. So you can pair with a masculine energy man, and he takes care of you. He provides for you. He gives his blood, sweat, and tears to make sure you and those children thrive. Not just thrive, y'all live and live a life of comfort and ease. That is the goal. The other issue are the kids. You know what, babe? Thank you for being. This is why I love having my inner circle members in the building, because they're gonna bring some other things y'all haven't thought about when y'all are having think about these pairings. The other issues are the kids. The 55-year-old men mentioned have kids of 26 and 28. They were as old as me. And y'all, let me tell you something about this. There are certain laws that if you are the second wife, you won't get anything. So these men who have multiple wives, you may be at the end when it comes to inheriting things, because sometimes these old men go and get these young tenderonis, and when they get these young tenderonis, they don't inform these young tenderonis, yes, you can enjoy my wealth while I'm alive, but when I die, they should go to my kids and to my ex-wife. And that has happened plenty of times to women, plenty of times. So don't cut out the men in the middle, because the men who have all these children, who have multiple ex-wives, there's health issues, there's children that may become a problem. And especially if they have girls. Ooh, baby. They ain't tell y'all about them girls, right? Did he tell y'all about the daughters of these old men that they do their best to make sure you don't get nothing? Sis, I'm trying to tell you what I've seen throughout my life. I'm in my 40s. I didn't seen it all. So I have seen where those young tenderonis get cut out. They get cut out the will and don't even know they ain't in the will, because he married her for a little bit of fun on earth. But he's giving all of his goods and all of his good stuff, all of his resources to his children and to his ex-wife. The ex-wife that he screwed over, Pamela Anderson, anybody? The wife that he screwed over, he's giving everything to her because he felt some guilt because of the way he treated her. So let's not be deceived by what we see on social media. Because when I look on social media, and the only thing that's being promoted right now is these young tenderonis and these old men that got one foot on a banana peel. And I think that y'all are hurting yourself and your chances in your pool of men when you focus in on just those men. Now, of course, there's age appropriateness, right? There's age appropriateness. If a man is in his 30s, what do we expect? We expect him to be in his career. There's no dream. There's no college. If he is going to college, he better be working too. He better be putting in double duty, because he should have his own things at that age. But if he's younger than that, of course, he's just starting. So you're going to be looking for different things in masculine energy. Let's not paint a specific picture with masculine energy when we should be painting with a broad brush. My concern is having stepchildren my age if dating older, and that is a situation you need to be concerned about. When it comes to young women, it's the women, it's the little girl, it's his little girl, y'all. It's his little princess that's gonna try to cut you out. That's gonna make sure that you don't get anything. She is the one that's gonna fight you on anything that he leaves you. She is the one. So y'all better be very careful of this whole dynamic that I'm seeing this on all over social media. All these women are promoting it. These old men. Y'all better know what comes with that. There's some pros and cons that comes with you marrying an old man and you being a young tenderoni. Now, guess what? Let me tell y'all a hack that we have. As women, we have a hack. Here's the hack. When you marry a man that's a year or 2, 3, 4, 5 years older than you, you still the young tenderoni because you're young to him. That's the hack. So you don't have to date an old man to get masculine energy. Okay. Yes, you may not experience super wealth or riches until he's that age, but you still will experience it because he's masculine energy. He's doing and he's acting forward and he's focused. And married men tend to want to go out here and get the bag. They fight harder. They fight smarter. They are willing to fight and dominate because they have a family to take care of. That is research. That's not me talking. That's not my observation. That's not coming from Braille. That's coming from research that showed it that masculine men, if it's they're in the ring to get that next promotion, to go into leadership, to make more money, they're doing what they have to do because they have a family on their back to take care of. And that's their primary focus. Listen, I dated an older man. He had gout and was hospitalized for over a month. I almost lost my mind, my business. And after all that I did, he was mean and disgruntled. After he got better, I left. See? I'm telling you all, be careful. Don't get distracted what you see on social media. It all looks like that she is getting everything that she desires. But guess what? There is a natural fact that as you get older, there will be health issues, even if you are healthy. Even if you're healthy, you're taking care of yourself, you're exercising, you're working out, you're eating well. There is still things that can happen regardless of healthy. Y'all, that's the reason why even somebody that you see run all the time, very healthy, and they still end up getting cancer because that's what it is. It's a fact of life that health can still come about. So even if you married him and he got one foot on a banana peel and he seems to be very healthy, you need to plan for if he is not healthy. What happens? What happens from there? And I'm not saying you shouldn't marry an older man. If that's what you're attracted to, that's what you're attracted to. I know there's a big push for it. I'm just saying it ain't never been my bag. I teach you how to marry men that are still masculine energy, but he may be a couple years older than you, or he may be a year older than you. Baby, he may be 6 months older than you. I don't care. I teach you how to keep that healthy polarity and dynamic so you can be and experience the resources that he's going to have. Amen. My boss, ex-husband, she gets everything. Y'all, can I tell you something? Lean your ear here. Give me your ear for a second. When a woman has a divorcing man that has resources, or he's a man of means, he will literally leave her something in the will to make up for it because he has a guilty conscience. So you may go into it thinking everything's going to be mine because I'm his wife. And he may go into it thinking, I'm going to give you a payout, but I'm going to give her everything. And it has happened multiple times. And the ex-wife be sitting pretty. And that's also goes to show that sometimes when you've heard of situations where a masculine man, and y'all, like I said, masculinity is all about the doors and action and focus. It's not about character. So to get that out your head, stop thinking that if his character is bad, he isn't masculine, because it's not true. I have seen it where a masculine man will do a woman dirty, not marry her, go and live with a woman and give a woman all his resources while he's alive. But when he die, baby, guess who get it all? The wife. The wife. Like I said, I've seen some things. Been a little older, been a little wiser. I've seen a lot of things happen. So y'all need to be aware. Don't get caught up in what you see on social media. Social media is showing a bunch of exceptions. And I love it for those girls. I love the girls that got the exceptions. I love the girls that stumble on to a old man that's super wealthy and is going to give her all these things. I'm cheering for her. You know, a beauty secret of feminine women is to mind your business, because you mind your beauty business, you continue to stay healthy, beautiful, and wealthy. So you continue to mind your business. But for my community, I have to speak out on what I see. My previous husband, who was only 38 when we were married, was always sick. It is so draining because men tend to behave like kids when they are sick. Facts. I know for facts that I don't want to be a nurse at all. I want a strong, healthy husband. Strong, healthy husband. And if a strong, healthy husband, you do want that. So you want to make sure that one of the characteristics that the man has, that he works out, that he exercises, that he takes care of himself. That's a characteristic that you want to look for if you want a healthy, strong husband. I never thought about the fact that women even benefit from a man's mistake and guilty conscience. Yes, they do. I see it every day, all the time. I have come across tons of women that was able to benefit after he died, but not during his life. That's because they never took him, they never changed their life insurance policies, they never changed the will. They felt some type of guilty conscience because they didn't do right by her. So they left her something when she died. And that's why I told you the name Pamela Anderson. She's experiencing his guilty conscience. Did you see the Pamela Anderson documentary? What were your thoughts? I didn't watch all of it, y'all. I started watching little bits and pieces of it because I came across the fact that what I got from watching the first one and the second, I watched pieces of the second one, is that there were some changes in Pamela Anderson. In the beginning, I felt like that she and I think she was like a late bloomer in understanding who she was as a woman. And in the current one, she was like more honest and more open, like honest and open. As she got older, she realized what was more important, and you can showed that in that new documentary and not the old one. That's what my thoughts are on the old and new one, because I ain't watched all of the new one yet. Only reason I was interested in it is because I saw the information where she had got the money that was left to her by an ex-husband. I don't even remember the man's name, but that just shows you that guilty conscience can pay off too. Okay, and don't think that a man with masculine energy with character is not going to pay out, because he will. If he feels guilty, he will make sure that he does something to course correct or pivot. All right, so this video has already been like an hour and 25. So if y'all don't have anything else, I'm getting ready to close out. But masculine energy, just think action, focus, doing. There should be things going on around him. The best way to figure out that you're dealing with a feminine energy man, there's nothing going on around him. His days are his own. His time is his own. He ain't got no plan. He's depending on other people to help him to live. There's nothing going on around this man, so you can see and recognize the feminine energy in him. Masculine energy, that's where the action is at. That's where the doing is at. That's where you see him growing leaps and bounds, doing things, having things happening in his life. Action is happening all around a masculine energy man, because he knows how that in order to achieve the things that he wants to achieve, he has to be doing to get it. Feminine energy man, he's all about the dream. What he gonna do or what he want to do. He's all about the dream. There's nothing going on around him. Please, can you upload it to the inner circle before Sunday? I want to study it before the workshop. What before the workshop? Are you talking about this video? This video is going to be on YouTube. Usually I don't upload videos to the inner circle that's already, if the complete video is on YouTube, I normally don't upload to the inner circle because it's right here. Because are we talking about this video here that I'm doing now? Or are you talking about our previous video? Yes, this video is going to be on YouTube. I normally just don't do that because it's already here on YouTube, so you can watch it over and over and over again. All right, so if there are any other questions or comments, I'm going to get ready to close out. But remember, you recognize the masculine energy by what he's doing. Action should be happening all around him. He is growing leaps and bounds. When you talk to him, he's always doing. He's not just talking about what he's going to do. He's doing it right now. So I will catch you all on the next one. Make sure that if you want to attend Energetically Feminine, that will be Sunday at 12 p.m. And I will see you then. Bye.